What's up, wild ones? All right. All right, making sure this is posted on the stories because I'm doing a last minute go live and didn't feel like doing all of the to do of announcing this and just wanted to drop in. So this is Decolonizing, and it's the other good D. If you remember those commercials, or I was like, I'm totally vegan, have been for a very long time, but the commercials were pork, it's the other white meat. If you remember that, what the fuck, what the fuck is that? Anyways, but what came to me was, it was like, oh yeah, decolonizing, it's the other good D, because it so relates to the DD, the dick D, dicking them down D, because there is this idea as to what's happening, the cry for justice and liberation and decolonization, and people to actually step up and to start to own their own racism and white fragility and all of the things, and to really look at ourselves as BIWOC, as Black, Indigenous women of color, as if you are a white ally of the culture, whoever you are, whatever you happen to identify as, whoever you happen to identify as, there is this uprising, there is a revolution at hand. And when soul calls for a reckoning, we can be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, gotta do all the things. And I'm hearing this from people in all realms, where there is this like rush, gotta do all the things, and gotta do it now. And what happens is it ends up being pretty much a shit show. and it ends up as you trying to implement 8 million things and change 8 million things in your life at once, and you end up playing just the tip with decolonizing, with anti-racism, with actually affecting change on a systemic level. And so this is not about playing just the tip. This is not about like just trying to get it in real quick and like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to do all the things and I'm going to implement and like, whew, oh, we're done with this. No, this is the long game, right? This is decolonizing, anti-racism, anti-Blackness, really stepping into dismantling anti-Blackness. This is the long game. So like good D, it's going to, you wanna play with it a while. You wanna let it be what it's gonna be. You wanna let it grow to full potential. You wanna allow yourself to alchemize and feel all of the sensations and drop in so deeply that you are forever transformed for having been in the presence of that D, right? Yes, same thing with decolonizing. It is not about wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's not about a trying to have this one night stand with oppression, like with dismantling oppression. It is not about playing just the tip and just staying on a surface level and trying to make it seem as if you are doing the work in a virtue signaling, hey, flashy, showy, I'm now going to implement all the things, all of them right now in this very moment kind of a way. Because one, you're going to burn out, especially if this is your first foray, whether you are a BIWOC, whether you're a white ally of the culture, if this is your first foray into actually doing the deep work, right? Then you'll like, I hear, oh God, like I'm just so tired of it. Like, cool. Yeah, we're tired of it too. We're tired of this shit too. And also it's a long game. And so if you know that this is like, if you're in a space of like, well, you knew racism was a thing, whether you are a BIWOC or a white ally, and you knew that it was affecting people on all layers and levels, but you hadn't actively been doing deep work around it, dismantling it within yourself, and making sure that who you are and what you stand for is the liberation of all. If that was something that you knew you stood for, but you really hadn't implemented it into your art, you hadn't implemented it into your business, you hadn't implemented it into your relationships and into what you stand for, into who you are now a fucking non-negotiable for allowing into your space. If you haven't allowed that as a thing, or you hadn't stood for that and made sure that was like, this is like, you hadn't drawn the line around that, and you are now drawing that line, you can blow past that window of tolerance in your nervous system. You can feel like you're bored, you can feel like, oh my god, it's too much, you can feel like all of the things, and then you stop after a week, you stop after a month, you stop after 3 months, after 6 months. This is the long game. This we ain't new to this. This is not something that just happened. Your awareness around it might have just happened. Your commitment to actually affecting massive global systemic change and redefining institutions and police forces and all of the things, and your own internalized anti-blackness and your internalized racism. If you are a person of color, if you are a white ally of the culture, your inherent and encoded racism and anti-blackness, if you are just now come into the game, doing the deep work around it, regardless of how much awareness you've had your whole life, or maybe whatever, however long, if you are now just now coming into the space of being like, I am in the fucking commitment of this thing right now, you want to remember, like good D, you've got to be willing to be in it past the tip. This does, like, you do not get to show up and just be like, oh yeah, I did the thing and I restructured my business to make sure that it was this. And I've seen so many companies putting out these mission statements and all of the thing, and it's like, cool, I'm glad you're saying something. And now, like, are you actually allowing yourself to go into the deep work past when it's pretty, past when it's going to look good for your business to do a blackout Tuesday hashtag? Are you going to be there? Right? Are you going to still be there? Because we're still going to fucking be there, right? This shit, we've been there. And if you are a BIWOC and you know that you are here to actually use your body of work, your body of art to stand for your own fucking liberation, and people who look like us, and to shift the melanated experience into something that is liberation for all, right? If you are a white ally of the culture and you are committed to actually putting your body where your mouth is, meaning, like, if you actually drop it in, and you conceptualize what happens, the potential for what happens to Black and brown bodies when shit hits the fan, which it does every single day around the world. When Black and brown bodies encounter white bodies, shit hits the fan every single day. This is not something that is just like, oh, the last few months, oh my god. No, maybe the awareness is heightened because things are being filmed. This is not new. We are not new to this. If you are new to this, remember that this is not something that you just dip your toes in. Like, if you want to actually be an ally to the culture, you've got to put your body where your mouth is. Meaning, if you conceptualize all of the things that are happening, would you actually step in? Would you actually step in and help and support and ensure the safety of a body of color from other white bodies? And this could be verbally, this could be physically, this could be all of the things, but are you willing to put your body where your mouth is? Or is it something that you're just like, oh, I'm going to shift the culture of my business. I'm going to start talking about these things. I'm going to put a black square on my social media. I'm going to do all of these things. Really check yourself, really look at these things. And this is not, and if you're new to me, then you know, like, this is not the space for you to bring in your projections and your fragility and all of the shit. Like, take that shit elsewhere, or even better, fucking do your work, right? Even fucking better. Even fucking better for yourself and for the world and for people who look like me to actually be safe and be alive. If you are a BIWOC and you know, you're like, holy shit, a lot can come up for us, right? Around, even though we know, right? Even though we fucking know, there is like, oh shit, like, there can be judgments that we can feel like we're gonna experience if we step further into this work, if we didn't grow up like super 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 poor, like, if we always had food, if we always had shelter, if we are light skin versus dark skin, if we are mixed versus, I don't know, whoever is not mixed at this point, but like, if you believe yourself to not be mixed in, at least for the past few generations, there has been no race mixing or no nationality mixing or no any of the things, whatever. Like, if you lived on a certain side of the border, if you, whatever the thing, and you're just like, do I have a right to, because I even have some privilege around being a person of color, do I have the right to take a stand for other people of color if I haven't suffered as much as they've suffered? And this can show up in our art in all all sorts of ways, in our business in all sorts of ways, not just around allowing ourselves to step into being in like an active abolitionist and anti-racist, right? It doesn't, it can show up in many ways. It's not just that, but it doesn't mean that we stop. And if you know, like, you know, you're ready to go deeper and you're feeling like, what the fuck, how do I even do this? Well, two things. One, Melanated Muses, my new collabo, alchemical fucking magic delicious epicness, with Azaria and Palomi. If you do not know them, you fucking want to know them. And we're finally kicking off Melanated Muses, our new show, and that is coming soon. If you are not in the know, I'm going to drop our YouTube link in the comments. Our first show will be coming soon. Make sure you're on my email list, all the things, scaleyouриmpact.co, if you want to make sure you're on my list. Blah, blah, blah. But we'll be dropping that. We're also on Instagram. There's no content over there. There's no content on YouTube either. But make sure you subscribe in that way. And on YouTube, make sure you turn on notifications. We're Melanated Muses on both. And the other thing, if you know that you're ready to go fucking deep and like this is the time, and you know that this is the time, I just launched. Holy fuck balls. I just launched my new membership. It's called Rewilding for Revolutionaries. Fuck me, it is so good. This is the thing. I just... Look, people have been asking, and I've been telling, or no, I haven't been telling. I've been like, People have been asking, and I've just been like, yeah. That's pretty much. I haven't been telling. I've been like, yeah. About, okay, so how do we take our work to the next level for the reckoning at hand? When the reckoning of soul is upon us, and fuck, and the revolution is upon us. And how do we actually put our art where our mouth is? How do we shift business and culture and community into one that actually does take that stand for the liberation of all? How do we allow ourselves to put our body where our mouth is? Whether you are a BIWOC or a white ally of the culture, allies only. If you are not doing your anti-racism work, and you can be beginning right now, but you got to be doing the work in order to work with me on anything. Fuck. And yes, I have removed people for racist shit. It has not been frequent, thank the God, because I like, it's not shit that I'm willing to spend time or energy on. But please no, do not step to me with any fucking white fragility or white privilege bullshit in any way, shape, or form. Because today's not the day, and I'm not the fucking one. And don't step to me with any anti-blackness stuff, whether you are a BIWOC or a white-bodied, right? Like, but if you know that you fucking know that you're ready to dismantle that shit within your own body and within the way that you create. Now, this might look like, this is a very long, drawn out invitation, right? But this is the thing. This is one of the biggest things around making invitations. And this is something that I work with my high level clients around very, very deeply, around selling. And there's this idea that selling has to be this whole big old crazy thing, and that your content, your messaging, you fucking showing up for who the fuck you say that you are, that it has to be this weird separate thing. And there's this fragmentation that happens. And no, like, your messaging, everything you're doing is seeding everything that you are, and everything that you are is seeding everything that you do. So whenever you're messaging, whenever you're selling, whenever you're doing all the things, you're already fucking making an invitation. No matter what you're doing, you're making an invitation into what? Well, that is determined by how you're choosing to show up in your life and your body and your art and all the things, and who you say that you are, and what you say that you stand for, and whether or not you actually become the living embodiment of that. And so whenever I'm messaging, whenever I'm going to offer something, it's going to always be in a space of also providing the message, right? Providing the art, providing the value, the inherent value of whatever the fuck is moving through me in that moment in time. So yes, this is an invitation. And also, when you are being called to go so fucking deep that it feels like you've almost lost your bearings, and you know that that your art, that your message, that everything that you are is being called to level up and level in in a way that, I was going to say at a level, in a way that you maybe have not gone before, or in a way that you have gone in some areas of your life, but you haven't allowed yourself to. This is excellence. This is mastery, right? You haven't allowed yourself to go to that level with who who you say that you are, and the art and the messaging and the creation and whatever. So this is my peeps. You are the multidimensional messengers, right? You are creators, healers, medicine women. Like, you are the ones who are fucking called to everything, to fucking everything. You know that thing inside of you. You may not have full clarity around it, but fuck clarity. Are you in it? Like, are you committed and are you in it? Because that's what we're here for. So multidimensional, we work in the quantum, we work in all aspects of self. We bring in God, creator, great mystery, into the physical, emotional, energetic body, everything, all of the things. And we also produce here in the physical realm, and we make shit happen. So this is also learning how to land the plane in a way that really turns on your soul and also creates the shift in the fabric, in the collective, in whoever it is that you know that you're here to serve, right? This is about knowing that the liberation of one means absolutely nothing without the liberation of all, and making that an integral pillar of who the fuck you are, right? And your body of work, like the work that you are here to do in the world, whatever that is, the message that you are here to share, and getting yourself into a place where you are completely relentless and unapologetic in the pursuit of that truth, that power, and that evocation of who you say that you are, creating the non-negotiables that you need to create. Because if you know that you are here to stand for this liberation, and you know that you've been playing just the tip, right? You know that you've been playing just the tip, and you're ready for that fucking D. You were ready. You know that you're fucking ready. It's going to require you to have the support in place, and it's going to require you to have like the ritual, the ritualistic structure and safety. And I hesitate to say structure, because like, if you're like me, which you probably are in some way, shape, or form, if you're drawn to my work, we don't like being told what to do. We not even by ourselves, which means that anytime that we either hire a coach or do the things or get the next certification, if there's too much structure, we won't even do it. Even if we know that, this is going to be the thing, we're like, nope, right? And so structure, but structure in a way that is led by soul. So if you know that you're ready to go past playing just the tip and get over these childish games, get over the fucking childish games with the deep work, and you want that deep D. Maybe in multiple ways, but specifically in this instance around decolonizing, then I'm going to invite you to join us in rewilding for revolutionaries. You can go to rewildingforrevolutionaries.com, and you can join us, and it is 65% off right now for your first month. And there is an epic as fuck bonus bundle that is dropping this weekend. It is called the Black Velvet Experience. Oh my God. I can't even. You want this? I'm just saying, you want this. You want this. So come and join us. And we have our first call tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this. It might have already happened, all the good things. But we're dropping into, what is tomorrow? July 8th, we're dropping into collapsing back into the extra as fuck remembrance of you. And we're going to, everything in this membership, it's a mastermind experience. Everything is going to be you goddessing the fuck up in all areas of who you are, right? This is radical responsibility, not only for your own liberation, but for the liberation of all, and infusing that into the very structure, the very bones of your body, right? And yes, your body. So we work deeply. It's me. So we work deeply with sexual energy, sexual energy. We work deeply with body and primal movement and pussy breath work and all of the things, and de-armoring practices and all of that. You also get access to my Erotic Nights ceremony. Everyone else is going. So if you're not a member, you can still join my Erotic Nights ceremony. That will be once a month. You will have to pay for it. If you're in the Mastermind experience, then it is included for you. And our first one is in a couple weeks. So you definitely want to be all up in that. A couple weeks? I don't know. It's the 17th, whatever that is. Like a week and a half, something like that. Come join us. And more. And there's so much more. There's so much fucking more. And so I want you to, so one, if it feels like you're being called, then join us. Two, if you know that you fucking know that you are ready to stop working with this like lackadaisical D, right? Like, playing just the tip, having that one night stand. It's all right. Got your rocks off. blah, 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 and you're ready for the real shit, right? You are ready to go all the way in. Then there's an invitation. I'm going to invite you to like this. I always do in all my stuff, Eros and excavation writing prompts. So bust out that journal, bust it open, baby, and start to really write out, okay, what do you currently have on decolonizing? And whether you're like, this is the first time I've heard of it. I just started hearing this word like 2 weeks ago. I've only heard this word for a few years. What? There's colonization? Like whatever it is. Or if it's like, yeah, I've always known this was a thing. It's affected my entire life. And here's what I have on it. Here's how I feel about it. Here's where it doesn't feel safe. Here's where I'm super excited. Here's the work that I've already been doing. Here's what I'm being called to do. Like, what do you have on decolonizing? And then also, where have you been playing just the tip? Where have you been playing just the tip, whether that is the last few weeks, the last couple of months, the last few years, your entire lifetime in this lived experience? How have you been playing just the tip with your own decolonizing, your own anti-racism, your own dismantling of anti-Blackness? If you haven't watched my dismantling anti-Blackness training, make sure you go and watch that. I shall link it. I shall link it in the thingy, bobber. Yeah, so how have you been playing just the tip? And then also Numa 3. Numa. That was like number and numero and number all in one, which was just, yeah, anyways. Okay, so, all right, so how have you, 3, how have you, or how are you now being called to give that good D? And now, yeah. How are you now being called to give that good D? And that means, how are you being called to actually show up as an active decolonizer, as an active anti-racist, as an active participant in dismantling the systemic anti-Blackness and oppression throughout your body, throughout your art, your work, your business, your relationships, the world, right? So 3 things. Journal. If you're on Instagram, I mean, come on, right? Then make sure you, whatever you come up with, share it in your stories and make sure you tag me at Nikka Karli. And I mean, you could see how to spell it. And let's hashtag decolonizing the other good D. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm very excited about myself and this name. And it came through me. And I'm now very excited about this fucking hashtag. So make sure you do the thing. Make sure you tag me just so I can fucking see the hashtag. But post it in your stories, whatever you come up with, whatever comes through for you, make sure you drop into your body. Don't try to think about these things. Let it move through your body. If you obviously, like, whatever, use any of your practices, your sex magic practices, your breath work, go for a run, like really drop it into your body before you start to answer, and just like let the answers flow through you really for the 3 journaling prompts, and then post in some way onto your IG stories and tag me at Nikka Karli and decolonize and hashtag decolonizing the other good tea. Okay. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up. I think that's it. Yep. Join us, rewildingforrevolutionaries.com. Fuck me. Oh shit, it's going down. Like, this is, I am pouring everything. You want, like, all the fucking things, all of the things. I am pouring it into this mastermind membership experience of all epic fucking proportions. So I'm just saying, get in where you fit in with the good D. Not that just, we don't play just the tip. We're going to, okay, I'm done. All right, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. As always, here's to your untaming. Bye, wild ones.